You are watching The Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM.com, and we are very happy to be able to have Lori do another segment to talk more about her event that's coming up and therapy for people with PTSD and children, all related to horses.
Yeah. Could you give the information a little slower with your website?
Sure.
It's Spirit with
Spirit Therapies.
Therapies with
Therapies, .org. Spirittherapies.org. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So we can
go slower.
Cross more, get more information definitely for the coming events.
The coming event is going to be totally, it's our 10th annual, so I'm very privileged that the South Point has asked us back to the Grand Ballroom. And we're going to have all kinds of fun things. We're going to have a photo booth there that you can dress up. We're going to have fun boas and hats, and you can take your own pictures. And we're also going to have a caricature, so you can get your caricature with your fun stuff on or without it. So last year we had that for the first time, and everybody loved it because they got to have fun dressing up, and it's going to be a kind of cowboy theme, but we might have something in there. I'm not sure. They're bringing all the stuff, so it should be really a fun event. The music, I want to plug my Chris Here's band. He is totally awesome. If you ever see him here in town, go check him out. He's a local band, and he's awesome, and just totally giving. His band is totally awesome too. They get fed, so they're happy about that, so they come and play for us. And everybody that comes to the event that helps us set up are volunteers. So it could be my board members. Being a nonprofit, I have to have a board of directors. They have to come and serve when there's a big event. They get to come to it, but they also have to serve. So we have them come in the mornings and set up. So we are setting up our raffle items and things like that in the morning. So we're there at the South Point for the whole day. So if you're there that day, just come stop by, and you still can buy tickets, there at the day of. But right now online, we still have tickets available. What else? Our kids will be there. Some of our kids will be there, so we allow our kids to be there so you guys can see how these kids are loved and how the parents have to deal with some of the things maybe out in the public. So autism is number one thing that's out here in our world, and I just remember as a kid, if there was a kid screaming on the ground that he was a brat. Well, now we can't even say that because we're not sure what that child's going through, and I never said that. But you look at these children nowadays, and people might look down at you when you have to socialize them. Yeah. So if they're having a meltdown at the event, just kind of go have another glass of wine, and it'll be okay. Because we have to bring them out, because if we don't, what's going to happen? They're going to grow up as adults and never come out of their house, and then we're going to have even more problems. And then I'll have to work with them when they're adults too, which is okay too. But just like our veterans, and that's one of my things the closest to my hearts too. Both my dad and my brother are veterans. They have both passed, and I made it a goal of mine that I would serve our veterans here in Las Vegas. And my number one, not saying number one, but the Vietnam veterans are really close to my heart because my brother was lost for 25 years on the street. And, it's just one of those wars that people just still kind of push to the side. And it's amazing when you see them come work with the horses and they start talking about what they've been through. And they're like, this horse doesn't judge me today. I'm just so happy today, and that's what I want them to leave. And I want them to leave that day feeling better than they were when they got there. So that's one of the things.
What types of results have you seen with veterans, people that were suffering with PTSD, and then they spent some time with the horses?
Well, I hope I can I'm going to put it out there. I had my first veteran that came to me from out at Nellis, and the psychologist brought him. It was what we call our pilot program. He never had animals, and he never had a horse, and he was pretty much in himself. He had a lot of brain pain, is what he called it, and he just wrote a book. And that's launching. I'm going to launch you there, Mr. Tony Anthony Jones, November 11th. His book is coming out about brain pain. It's from Vietnam to now. His dad was at Vietnam War. He was in Iraq, and he's talking about what post-traumatic stress does. So to me, that was a win-win for me. He came out of his shell, He is now doing things that he used to do. He calls me all the time saying, Lori, thank you for being that service for me, because I was lost and now I'm found. And he writing a book. I'm in that book. Our spirit therapist is in that book with his horse and what that horse did for him. That, to me, if anything, I'm going to get a signed copy, of course, but to see him so much in pain when I first met him, and so introverted and not talking, he'll be at our events, and he's one of our mentors. He will go to the base, he'll talk about us and things like that. I've had veterans come back and volunteer. That's one of my programs too. If they feel that their heart's wanting to give back to these kids, because now they have pain, and then they see these kids that have pain, and it's so amazing to see these kids when they wear their Army hat or their service hat or even their fatigues, and these kids just idolize these veterans, and it's so amazing to see that connection. And some of my veterans they fall in love with the kids. They have a special kid that they work every week with, and they want to be with them. So there's a lot of stories. I can go on for days about stories. Kids that haven't talked that talk, kids that parents never thought they would be able to ride a horse.
So, how long takes that turning point? For example, you just talked about one particular person.
Well,
usually it's like a month.
I can't plan that. It could happen one time. It could happen the first time they come out. Like that gentleman opening up to me that first time, that veteran telling me how he felt. You don't get that every time. Somebody might come and not let that out to us, which this time, and kids, like I said, our long-term goal for the kids is for them to ride on their own, to go on a trail ride with their parents, or learn how to go show a horse or things like that. That's what I want them to learn how to do. We teach them how to ride. That's our basic skills. But through that, a lot of times it might have a kid that is nonverbal, and how do you communicate to a nonverbal kid how to turn a horse? You have to start doing some signing, or you help them. You might have your volunteer help them pull it back and they coordinate it together. So it could take one day. It could take 6 years.
Could be that long?
It could be, yeah. I don't, it's up to the child or up to the veteran. I mean, I've had people that just have come and I've seen little bits. What's so special that I get to do and my new instructors get to have is, I don't know if you have a child or if you have children, but do you remember the first word your child ever spoke? When it was a baby? Mom? Oh, they usually, mom, dad. Okay, so some of these kids that come to us at 4 and 5 years old have not spoke.
Oh, my.
And we used to tell them a little word, go. And the parents might be sitting on the outside of that arena watching, and they hear their child say, go. It might be a small thing to somebody listening right now, but to a parent that's never heard their child take a word, just a little word named go, and makes that horse move. So then it all translates, and we start adding more words. We have color flags, we have buckets, we have things that they go to. So we're teaching them. Our arena has north, south, east, and west on it. So we teach them direction. We teach them mannerism. Things like that. It's amazing. And, as a parent, you remember that first word.
Yeah, that's fascinating. What a beautiful experience.
Well, a lot of times I look to the parents and they're crying, and I'm like, are they crying because they're happy, or are they crying that it's happened? And then from that, sometimes they just start talking.
Yeah, tears of joy.
Yes, yeah.
And we're going to take another short break, and when we come back, I want to talk about running a nonprofit organization. It is a business, and
yes.
I work with a lot of nonprofits, and so I like to bring on successful ones, because you've been doing this for quite a while, and I'd like you to share some of your tips for how you've been able to survive as a nonprofit organization.
Okay, awesome.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes with more of The Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM.com.